So now we are going to hear from Peter Roman of EQ Consulting, and he is going to talk to us about our brains.
Sorry.
Oh, that's not it. I'm sorry, that's Rachel's. That's Peter's.
Thank you. Thank you. This one, right?
Yes.
Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So, just a little bit about why I started my company. I come from Brazil. I worked 20 plus years on TV down in Brazil. I thought it was my passion, was my love. Since I got here, I moved, not back, but I had to restart. I started Disney as a lifeguard. I left Disney as an ambassador. So 10 years of Disney plus whatever I learned at TV and some information about how we function just gave me another passion, which is neuroscience applied to business. That's what I do in my business. But why? Why do you chose something so complicated? Well, let's make it simple. Just because of that. Every organ in your body is connected to the one under your head, aka the brain. If you don't understand how you function, you don't understand where you're going, you don't understand your customer. The brain, although has a lot of functions, is kind of simple. It has one drive, survival. Survival of the person and survival of the genes, which is reproduction. And it evolves not to explain the world to us. It evolves to explain, to make us fit to the world. So every time you try to create a complicated explanation about your business, don't! Please do not do that. Because I'm going to look at you like a bubblehead. And my brain is a lot of like, yeah, I don't know if he's talking. He is. But I'm going to pretend because I need to be polite. Be simple. The brain loves simple things. The brain is an energy-saving machine. Only for you to be alive here, you spend 20% of the energy of your body. Isn't that amazing? So listen to me. Your brain's now, should I listen to this guy or just pretend that I'm listening to him? Although we're going to spend energy doing something else, it can be more pleasant. So dopamine is a very effective thing, like the prediction of pleasure. So if I think I'm going to be pleased thinking about, I don't know, what I'm going to eat at lunch, I'm not going to pay attention to you. Also, when you pay attention to somebody, anything around you disappears because your focus is auto-deleted. You don't have capability to understand everything that happens around you. And the reason why is because we are bombarded every single second by 11 million bits of information. And our brain, which is awesome, an awesome machine, can only grasp 40 bits. The rest is absorbed by our limbic system. And the main system, our subconscious level, the main system on the subconscious level is the limbic, which is the one that deals with emotion. So hear me out. People buy emotions and justify with reasons. And the reason why is just that. Because you cannot grasp every single information that comes to you every single second. Either the brain is so capable. Are you telling me that we're so short in understanding? No, I'm talking about seconds. Every second you can grasp 40 bits of information. That's a lot. That is a lot. But the rest comes to your subconscious level. In order to get to your memory, to consolidate a memory, where you want your brain, your product, and everything else be, you need to add emotion. Because if you want to remember something, remember at school, what you do. If you want to pass the test, what you do? You study, repeat, up to a point that you memorize, correct? You hate that subject. After test, you delete it. And if you can burn the book, that's what you do. Now listen to me, kids, please. Don't burn books. It's not good. Why? Because consumers, they think they buy products. but they buy the better version of themselves using their product or your service. How you will know what is the best version of themselves? Asking questions. But not asking regular questions. Oh, is this cup half full or half empty? Really? I still there? A wrong caller is calling. Say, hey, she's telling me, don't do that. This caller is just telling everybody, don't do that. Do something else. It's necessary to break our impasse of hearing and seeing. We have 5 senses. We only use 2, and poorly. Vision and hearing. We don't use it intentionally, and because of that, our message doesn't go right to your customer, and they don't remember us. Think about it. Vision, here, process in the back, comes back to the cortex, to be tagged or labeled. Hearing, goes to the side lobe, same process. Smell. 1, 2, 1. How many of you has the smell for your business? Not sweaty smell. Most of us don't. And it's so amazing. The smell brings memory instantly. You want to remember somebody, you want to remember something, put a smell to it. But Peter, I work online. Yeah, in every box you send your product, spray your smell. And all of a sudden they're going to remember. We experience understanding of the world through our senses. They are a connection to your memory. We have, how many senses do we have, guys? 5. We have 26. 5 rational, 26 subconscious. This is science now. They are working on 32. Meaning that we have subsenses. I don't like your face. Yes, I don't like your face. The micro expressions that you're making and I'm not understanding, but my subconscious is grasping it and telling me there's something wrong with him. He's so nice. But there's something, oh, this is now wrong. This is now bad. This situation has bitter taste. Yeah. This is our subsenses talking to us. And as a matter of fact, because Harvard Business School create a method to measure that, 95% of our decision making is subconscious. So understand the senses, understanding how to work with your 5 senses intentionally is a huge, I will repeat, huge advantage. Like it or not, our senses are wired to seduce us. So, how would I do that? Brains are lived in perception and live in our minds, correct? For any brand, product, or service to be desired, needs to remain in a customer memory, correct? Successful brands like Apple and Starbucks speaks convincingly to the whole brain. Speaks to the brain. How do I do that? Let's see.
Peter Roman, walking down the street. Peter Roman, the guy I'd like to meet. Peter Roman, I don't believe it, you must be true. No one could teach as good as you. Oh, Peter Roman.
My name is Peter Roman. To remember me, just remember the song, Pretty Woman, and please, Chandler. What I did here, I use emotion, happiness. Okay? So it's easy to get to your mind. And also, I didn't put any new information to your brain because the song is there already. I just changed the perception. I just changed the concept. So you don't push, don't shovel new information to your customer's brain. Use whatever is there. Because every time you try to figure out something from the past, it's not very clear. You will make up to something. So use past memories in your advantage. What that sounds. Close your eyes for a second and tell me what sound is this? Huh? A boat, right? Yeah. That can be so many, right? Because interpretation is different. But even in a boat siren, you can put your brand in. How? Disney. Oh, they did that because that's cute. No, they did that because they studied neuroscience since 1980. And they know that this is the brand deconstruction through the senses. They do that a lot. Do we? Do we dress accordingly? Do we match the colors to the intention of the message that we want to convey? Probably not. It's just like, oh, I like this color. It matched to this one. Yeah, that's where I'm going. No. Smell. Your perfume. Use it intentionally. You're going to create a lot more bang for your message. Because we savor with our nose, we see with our fingers, and we hear it with our eyes. Pretty much that. Yeah? Yes, sir.
Time. What's the time?
What's time? Okay. Let me sell myself. What I do? Imagine decoding the subconscious drivers of consumer behavior, optimizing team dynamics and unleashing untapped potential within your organization. I'm going to talk about everything that I do, but everything from the communication to the products can be reinvented or rewired through our senses. And that's what I do in my business. I work as a consultant, I work as a mentor. I also do some workshops. I also do some walk around the Disney parks to show you how they use the senses to create a controlled environment of negotiation. And that's pretty much what I do. So experience, leave memories, products don't. That's about it. Thank you, guys. The QR code on the right takes you to my link tree. On the left takes you to my website.
Questions?
Very good. We're going to take questions. To get things started, I want to know if you sang that song in your presentation.
Oh, all the time.
Oh, okay.
Hey, I didn't say that because I played drums and sing for 20 years. So yeah. Yes, sir.
The question I had was about the usage of the Disney song, "Worship on the Star."
Uh-huh.
I feel like that's kind of like an isolated scenario because it's like it's their own song.
Yeah.
Like it's like referencing one of their first products.
Yeah.
So it kind of tweaks into a nostalgia that they already have
Creative.
created. Yeah.
Yeah.
With the example that you gave with your song, would that work as well if it's
Yeah.
not something that's yours?
Do you do an open your woman?
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
works.
obviously, yeah.
It works because it's not my song. I just change it.
But I mean, in that scenario, does my brain go back to Rick Oberson, or does it go to you?
It goes to me because it's fun. It changes your perception, changes your memory, but the memory is there. I didn't force it. I didn't push it to your brain. I didn't add something new. It's just there. And Disney does that with songs that are already known because they've been putting songs forever. But think about the words that Disney chose. Disney chose 6 words. Magical, prince, happiness, kingdom. And they use at least 3 of those words in every single communication. Coca-Cola is trying to get happiness through their brand forever and still didn't get it. Happiness with childhood or dreams and kingdom equals Disney. Brand deconstruction works like this. You keep doing it, people don't take it from you. But of course, if there's something in your product that you know that is on our people's habit or the country that you are, general information, use it. Use it on your advantage. Yes, sir.
So you're suggesting that we use multiple ways to basically assault our potential customer senses
Yeah, in a good way.
with the message that we're trying to give them.
Pretty much.
Right? And music is an excellent way to do it.
Smell is another one.
The only thing I would do is caution you, because when you use a copyrighted work, even if it's just the melody of it, you know, you're going to get a cease and desist letter. So I would recommend using a service that specializes in
creating a song for you.
Either creating a song for you, they do the licensing and everything else, you know, and it's a hell of a lot cheaper and it's a hell of a lot easier. So
while we're talking, just look at those numbers. Only 6% of the 1,000 companies use the smell. Only 76% of brands that use sounds have a greater chance of internet traffic, and 96% are more likely to be remembered immediately. Even so, they don't use it too much.
yeah, have you ever driven by a Wendy's or a Burger King?
Yeah.
They're literally piping that smell out.
Oh, doesn't used to have a smellitizer? With popcorn smells everywhere. Yes, sir.
As a humorist, one thing I would add is that humor seems to last longer in people's memories. We all got a laugh out of the Peter Roman song. I will think of that song whenever I see you.
I'm sorry.
And I will think of you whenever I hear the song, because it made me laugh.
Exactly.
Rather than it made me feel somber or sad or angry, I'll remember the humor more. So I would say anybody who really wants to kind of tap into this, try to do it in a humorous way, even a lighthearted, doesn't have to be hysterical, but a lighthearted manner is going to be more memorable than something that's sad and heartbreaking.
100% right. People think, especially people from marketing, that using the pain, it's a great tactic. Sometimes using the humor is way better. This is Jürgen Klarich, one of the guys that analyzed neuromarketing through South America and Central America. The brain welcomes good humor.
To piggyback off that real quick, you can use like Pretty Woman. If you were to sing that all yourself, you can parody songs, and I don't know what probably using the backing track wouldn't be.
Yeah, no, I don't go for like a 5,000 person plus auditory and do this because I know that I could be in trouble.
But so anyways, but the question I had was, can you leverage smell over like the internet? So can you still maybe like?
Not yet. They're working on it, but you can send your product through to your customer with the smell.
Thought of smell though, like leveraging.
Yeah. When you talk about the smell of coffee, it instantly got to your brain, and you remember coffee from your grandma's house, from your parents' house, or whatever place that you like.
So I'd like to get to the presentation, and I'll hand it over to Mary. So when you first started, you basically started out on a path. That's one of my favorite ones. Like Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't know it well enough. And then, you drew us all in, right? And you were explaining, you know, the mind and the senses and things like that in a manner that we could all appreciate. However, you only had 6 minutes to do a presentation that basically tells us more, you know, everything about your business, or that you'd like us to know. So, and then once you got that warning, then
I just jumped one
you're
string.
throwing tons of data and all that.
Yeah.
And from your research, then you should know that the tons of data turns people off.
Pretty much.
Right.
But I think that this one, as I present, I say don't think about what's written there, just words.
Right.
But that's what I do. I'll work with all the aspects of business through the
My
senses.
recommendation, though, is
Don't use it.
no more than 5
Yeah.
bullets on a page and no more than
I'm
11 words.
guilty on knowledge
Yeah.
because I know that and I put it on purpose just to see. But thank you.
Okay.
That's why you're here, right?
That's what I'm here.
Thanks a lot.
Peter,
Yes, sir.
I would disagree if I can.
Please.
I wish this presentation would last for not for 6 minutes but for 60 minutes because it's so educational. And but I have two questions. The first one,
Only two.
yes, if I can ask. So the first one, neuromarketing. I look at the neuromarketing as like neurohacking, probably. Hacking humans' minds and then putting their products. It's so strong, so powerful. And my question is it even ethical or legal? This is the first question. The second one is did you consider, I mean, these are such a strong and powerful tools. Did you have a chance to consider kind of, software probably where you could put these tools for marketing companies, so that they could use those tools and then probably put it in a platform base, like create APIs, so that would be B2B model.
I love what you're saying. My brain's going like, what?
Did I put too much?
No, you're right.
40
There are a lot of people.
kilobytes out of gun.
There are a lot of people doing that. I'm not a researcher per se. I know how to use eye tracker. I know how to use fMRI and stuff, but I don't do it myself. I'm more like a Google guy in this particular area. I just connect chip with Dale, like, okay, this fits to this and can do this with that, and the research shows this. But yes, of course, there are some companies doing that as well, and the reason why I didn't touch it is because I trust my presence better than internet. Not anything against internet. I know that you make a lot of money through the internet. I already talked to Rupert about this, to try to chop in little pieces of information. This is completely, but this is out of my comfort zone, and I need to expand my comfort zone. So I'm working on that. Thanks for that. Should be here, Sean.
Love the presentation. Do you have any case studies? Do you have any case studies that you can share with us?
Yeah, I just did 2 weeks ago the third expo of my West painting. The first one was like, imagine the first time you're showing your paintings. She took 33 paintings in a small room, like maybe 4 of those rows that were the room from one side to the other. 33 paintings, tables and stuff because we could not put it on the wall. I use music because your brain listen to the beat of the music and just match your heartbeat to the music. I use smell to make them stay around, and I use a game that uses taste. If you don't know, one of the powerful neurotransmitters that we produce through our intestine system is serotonin. Anti-stress, releases happiness. Chocolate, 60% cocoa, releases serotonin. So what I did, I asked them to eat the chocolate, notice now how they feel within the chocolate, and run around, look at one painting that gives the same impression to them, and write it down. What was I doing? You cannot remember 33 paintings, but you can remember one. So by searching for one, you're gonna get out of there, remember one painting of her. In her first expo, she sold 13 paintings right there, and 4 more after. So this is one thing.
So it makes sense.
But yeah, and I'm talking about sense. If you read the book Brain Sense from Martin Lindstrom, you have a lot of cases, lots of cases. But that's a lot. That's something that I cannot talk about, unfortunately, because they didn't give me permission.
Okay, we have time for 2 more questions, and then we have to wrap up. Go ahead.
Perfect. As a follow-up, a great presentation. As you said, Disney and many other companies do this and have been doing this for many years. I just wanted to know, what is your differentiator from other companies and consultancy agencies that do this already? Because I've seen throughout Latin America and the US, marketing agencies starting to take this in and understanding this.
And marketing agencies just think about the neuromarketing aspect. I deal with person entirely. Like, I go to a company and I make them understand that they're not employees, they are professionals. It's a totally different mindset. Professionally, you work for yourself. So there's no reason for you not to give 100% every day. Otherwise, you're cheating yourself. So, but in order to make them understand, I use neuroscience information to make them feel it, not to make them understand it. Because if you feel it, you put it in your memory. If you understand it tomorrow, that's something else for you to understand and you forget. So those big companies, they do have an in-house to do that. And the other ones don't. And what makes me different from the others, it's my DNA. That's all I can say, because everybody can do this presentation, not the same way I do. So your heart has a radius of 50 meters each way. You change people by your physiology. You need to know what is the message that you're conveying in order to get the best message to your customer. And that's how I teach. I just tell simple things, but has a bigger concept in between the lines.
Okay, well, yeah, one more brief question, and then we have to wrap up.
Okay, thank you. So you and I kind of operate we have a little bit of overlap. I do product design, and there's a ton of psychology in product design,
Yep.
right?
Oh, yeah.
But I work off virtual cues in the beginning, and then once the product has been delivered, we work off like utility, right? Like what does that product mean to that person? But at first, when you design a product, you have to like kind of grab the person and draw them in, right? And I use graphics for that, kind of like the 1 Million Cups logo.
Mhm.
You look at it, there's orange and white, and it's kind of like a flash. It grabs your attention, confuses you for a second, but then draws you in. But I rely on graphic and to like pull out an emotion. Do you think that you can overload somebody in that subliminal like draw in? Do you only focus on one strategy of pulling an emotion?
You're wearing a nice shirt. If you go to a store and you ask for a shirt just like that of this color, and the guy show you 1,000 different types of the same shirt, are you going to be overloaded?
Sure.
If you're at the end of the day, are you going to choose in between the 1,000? Or if I show you 3, you're gonna get out of that in one in your hands.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the answer. Disney, it's major because they understand that inside their brain there is no words and there is no numbers. Inside the brain there's mostly images. The easiest way to convey an image, to remember an image, is to tell a story. So Disney go the opposite way. First they create the story, and out of the story they pull products. So the first thing that I do when I go to companies is change the culture to the story. Not a storytelling, a story selling. Because Disney has a story for you to pick up garbage on the floor. That's how powerful it is.
Very good. Let's show our gratitude for Peter Roman. All right, we're going to switch to our next PowerPoint slides. Thank you. All right, and today we are having our second presenter. It's Rachel Ray. All right. Is this yours? How do you start it?
Okay, press that button right there.
Oh, slideshow.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, and the clicker's here. This one?
You're on. Go ahead.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Hi, amazing and beautiful people. How are you today? I'm Rachel Ray. This is one of my presentations. So feel free to grab that QR code if you'd like to get more information about me or potentially about what I'm presenting today. So, Weblife is bringing prisoners into 3.0. So, imagine some hopelessness, right? Imagine some lack of resources. Imagine being a prisoner. Imagine that life, not knowing what you can accomplish or do because you're stuck. I'm not going to go over all these statistics. I didn't make this slide. As you can see, it's come from the Prison Policy Initiative. They've got a great website, and I know that these numbers are as of March of this year. So we're talking 200K in the federal system, 500K locally, 1 million in the state, and 36,000 of those are youth. Over 1.9 million people currently in prison, jail somewhere. And that's just for the US. Okay? So when these folks are here, and you may have known somebody that is affected by the prison pipeline system, you yourself or someone you know may currently be dealing with that. And so there are programs that are around, but some of them are failing miserably. And again, there's a lot of money and time. Okay. Solution, Weblife. Call it, Web 3.0 meets new technology. It's a scary place. Who's already doing blockchain or messing around with cryptocurrencies or VR, and we just don't know. We're getting random text messages about packages that we didn't order. There's what do you do with that information, and how do you safely navigate? So this particular idea, this particular platform or app will unfortunately exploit our prisoners currently, right? And use them as test guinea pigs. Because again, if they're already disconnected and they're already hopeless, and they may have a program here or there where they're located in their particular prison, but what if there was a way that those different programs could be connected and curated and available at their fingertips? So regardless of which prison, regardless of whether they're serving 5 to 10 or 15 to 20, now instead of just sitting there idly and wondering and maybe regretting what got them there, they can be doing some things and moving forward in the future. And as they do that, they can help the rest of us. But as we want to explore 3.0, we don't know where to go. Meta's telling us to do something, Again, this allows for going into that new place of Web 3.0 without limits, without boundaries, and having accessibility options. So CoreCivic, if anyone knows that brand, they're actually the #1 provider of private prisons in the world. They're #2 in the US. And I'm in contact with Rodney Quinn there, who's over their reentry, director of reentry programs. And he says, Rachel, if you can come up with something, this is a conversation a couple months ago, you come up with something, get an MVP, we would gladly implement it. We need as many resources or tools to assist us as possible. Taskverse, if anyone's heard of them, Taskverse is just an opportunity company that helps you make money virtually, okay? And so that's Weblife. So the business model would basically be like a government subcontractor, maybe not directly with the government, but maybe working with CoreCivic or others who are already government contractors, and we could be that sub for them. Again, they'll get to explore different career fields, again, in a kind of a safe, controlled environment under supervision. They get to join or create alternate realities. They get to connect with family. And if anybody's familiar with JPay, they are connecting with family, but it's very, very costly to them to do so, and those families as well. Allow them to accumulate savings and wealth. When I talked to Rodney, he expressed that some of the programs that they are implementing where inmates are working is a phenomenal change in their morale. It's helping them, it's helping their family, and now their time in prison isn't fully wasted. So being able to save and accumulate wealth while in there makes a big difference in recidivism rates. Going back in. So they go back in less because they've actually come out with 10, 20, 30,000 or more, and it's money that they worked for, not that it was given to them, and, you know. Explore, again, based on AI recommendations. Again, this will be a tech-heavy product. So having the latest technologies, testing and trying them in a supervised environment, and having that virtual life blend seamlessly with rehab and all kinds of resources at all different levels. So where do I need help? Everything. If you saw my presentation last September, I knew we was talking about everything. So exploring B Corps as a possible business structure. If you're familiar with B Corporation, we're considering that, but we will look at some other options. We want SMEs in the particular very high-level technologies that we're talking about. Definitely LOIs from Core Civic, maybe Task Force, other potential partners, maybe Rollins, anybody knows anybody, right? Or someone else who, again, might be interested either in being a partner or, you know, being a buyer when the MVP is out. Anywhere from $250,000 to $1 million, I'm believing in initial round funding. And again, those are very conservative numbers because I don't want to waste nobody's money. We're not wasting nobody's money around here. I could probably do it with a quarter, but folks are like, no, you need more. Okay, we can always make more. So I don't have a problem with that. So a mock-up and MVP developer have been in talks. So if I can get the MVP created, I think we'll get it done. Got a lot ahead of us. That's how you can reach me.
On time. All right, we're going to take questions. Murray is first.
Rachel, this is such a beautiful idea. I mean, the potential that prisoners have in terms of time and wow, congratulations with this idea. My question is, why is this important for you? Is it an opportunity or is it a mission? I mean, social kind of contribution of yours?
I would say both. And I worked with Starter Studio and their incubator program about 9 months ago. And there's, we've actually got a lot of demos in my mind, but we needed to pick the one with the greatest impact, the one, to me, that's the most efficient and effective. Because again, I love the kids too, but with kids, you're dealing with parents, you're dealing with limited resources, like, and with prisoners or with folks under supervision, there's already millions of dollars being spent, and they're needing more efficient and effective ways of doing it. So this is already going to be set up with a custodial account, because again, the prison or whoever owns it, warden, whichever facility it is, if it's a residential facility, whatever, so custodial accounts are there, so everything can be seen. Now everything can be seen, now the data can be properly analyzed. So once it's analyzed, all that data, and we utilize best practices and create the MVP for that particular population and get it to work and get it to work well, it'll be so much easier to mainstream it and bring it to families that want to see what their kids are doing online with certain, you know what I mean, kind of checks and balances on that. And there's a lot of IP, and I didn't mention that, there's a lot of IP behind this. One of the key differentiators for this product is going to be similar to like music and protections. As you grow, this particular user or this user grows in what it has, ownership is retained by you and can be passed on to your heirs and things like that. So again, if you're creating digital currency, you gotta think about how you pass it on. If I buy 5 cars and I pass away, there's a will and there's a way to pass on those tangible assets. Intangible assets, I don't think they fully have figured that out yet, but folks have digital platforms, they're making money online, they're making money with these different currencies, and then how do you pass that? So that's underpinning, that's one of the differentiators, yes.
But you've always been creative and wonderful at stuff like this. This is a real problem in society. Recidivism is just a tremendous problem. I've got some friends right now that are working on teaching skills like carpentry and stuff like that, plumbing and so on, to people coming out of prison. They also provide them jobs. If you can come up with a real good use of the money, we can find people that will give you the money. This is such a problem in society.
Correct.
So how far are you as far as putting together the numbers? What you're looking at?
So
It's not a matter of how much are you looking for, what it's going to be used for.
I would say, again, the MVP is super important. I hear it's like 40 grand on average, right, for an MVP. But if I find a partner who can assist with the MVP and the MVP is done, then from there, again, we've got folks who are in the waiting, who are in the realms waiting, and none of the programs will this app have. The programs are already existing. So it's just really uploading them, syncing them, linking them from across the country. And
if you can put together a real good plan here, I could introduce you to crowdfunders that can get this money from you because it's such an important thing.
Money is important, but network is stronger and better.
Yeah, but the point is, without the money, you're not going to be able to do any of it. I think we can get it for you. That's the point I'm making, but you have to come up with something that's really good.
I mean, again, you say crowdfunders, I'm assuming it's money related. If they've got a great network and they've got
Crowdfunders
people.
could raise as much as $5 million now. And the best part about it doesn't have to be an accredited investor. Anybody can put $10 into crowdfunders,
Correct.
whatever you want to take.
Correct. And again, if they want to do that, they love that, that's fine. But I'm not going to move from the mission based on money.
No, but the point is, if you've got a good enough plan,
Yes.
we can get you the money.
The plan is in the works. So again, without the MVP, I don't want anybody's money. And I won't take anybody's money.
Well, for what it's worth, I love it. I think it's a great idea.
Thank you.
And so, I'm talking about Monday night, but I can introduce you to people that can, well, my son is over there at Integrass. That's what his company does. They help people like yourself develop MVPs, and I can introduce you to others if you like. There's, my cousin's husband is one of the top people in the Michigan State prison system, but he's probably long retired by now. But
He might have some time, you never know.
It might be worth a phone call. I don't know. But Monday night, it's going to be a lot of Web3 people there, so I strongly suggest it's free.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Any other questions, suggestions?
Oh,
If
the
you're
other thing.
confused,
The
go
other
ahead.
thing was that when you have an ask for money, just have a clear, just a number, right?
Yeah.
Don't say 250 to 1, because what happens is if the investor sees that, the first thing that they're going to think is you don't know what your numbers are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if you're looking for capital, you have to be very concrete. Everything else was concrete. I loved it. Just make sure that on the financial side of things, you know your numbers, and then you just hit them with it.
That's accurate. I agree.
Okay.
Yes.
Startup weekend is in 2 weeks. This would be great. So,
Supposed to be in Atlanta in 2 weeks. Oh my gosh. What day?
October 8th. October 8th?
Not the 8th.
November
20th is the 22nd.
Yeah.
Mondays. I missed my cup of coffee. So, yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. Any questions? I do see some puzzled faces. So again, feel free to ask me anything.
Oh, another big event is going on next week is the Meta Center Global event downtown, which is supposed to bring in literally the world of Web3. So I would go to the Innovate Orlando's website or the Orlando Tech Community website and get information on that, and you need to go.
Thank you.
One more here.
Just for additional clarity on kind of what you're doing and your plan, do you have a documented business plan?
This is it.
Okay.
That's the business plan. So again, I'm not gonna go, if the MVP is impossible, to me, none of those other steps are. I'm not gonna form a business, I'm not gonna do all that stuff until there's an MVP.
So I would seriously recommend pulling together a business plan, because that really is putting your thoughts and ideas into words, which you're going to need to get an MVP created.
I agree and disagree. What I found, again, if I sit here and create a 10, 15, 20-page document, doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna equal an MVP. So the MVP, having that solidified, that to me is, my business plan is kind of heavy, and it's not really rocket science. It's kind of like I'm just putting together pieces of things that already exist and making it work better, like an Uber.
Do you have functional specifications documented for your MVP?
No, because I have a little technical knowledge, but not technical enough to do that.
Rachel, you're resisting the advice for a business plan. However, have you put together, have you gone through one of Rupert's favorite tools, the business model canvas, where you're actually looking at who your customers are, what the problem is, really diving deep into defining that problem, defining what is being done now to solve that problem, why that isn't working, and then the other aspects of what would go into a business plan, not necessarily building a 20-page business plan, but a single-page business model canvas that does lay all of that out very succinctly and very concisely.
Yes, I did that with my lead, the Startup Studio, so we did that, that's done. So again, that's why it's prisons, and there are buyers, and the folks who are already supplying prisons, and our customers are prisons, well, not prisons, customers are those contractors and things that already have those government contracts.
Just that, so you're aware, nobody likes to do business plans, we all hate them. To raise money, you're virtually gonna have to do it anyhow. Because all the information that you're gonna be asked for is basically gonna be developed with the business plan. If you can't do it, find somebody who can do it for you. Because it's very important to raise the money. Now you say, well, who pays attention? It's most people don't, but the point is it's still an emotional build. If there's no business plan, you're not gonna get the money.
I hear you again.
Thank you so much, Rachel. That was great.
Thank you.
Before you go, Rachel, I have one last question. What can we as a community do for you?
Oh, maybe I should back up on this slide, right? So these are the things that I'm currently looking for. Again, it'd be helpful to have one number. But I know for me, I can do it with 250. Everyone else doesn't know. So that's why I figured I'd appease all these folks that got these wide checkbooks that say, oh, it's got to be at least $1 million. You can't do that for $250,000. I do a lot with little. I've done it my whole life. Again, business partners, SMEs, and figuring out some of the kinks. But I know, again, to me, the MVP can't be done, and that's kind of why we stopped with Startup Studio going to the next level, because that MVP and constructing that or having some mock-up and all of that, that, again, make or break whether it's worth it. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of energy creating something that never gets birthed. I'm not going to do it. If that makes sense. I mean, if anybody got a business plan they haven't actually formed yet, or actually hasn't been born yet, you know what I mean? I'm sitting on about 10 of these. 10 others, pregnant.
All right, thank you. Rupert, what is this slide all about?
So this slide is all about our monthly startup happy hour for Orlandopreneur, which is the third Monday of the month. Coincidentally, next Monday is the night before the Meta Center Global Week starts, and I've been on the board of Web3 CFL for over a year now, and I called them up and said, hey guys, this is a huge natural fit. Why don't we partner up? So we're partnering up, and I found the perfect location, which is OptiView 360 Entertainment Museum. And I'm telling you, go check us out on LinkedIn and Facebook and whatnot, and you'll see videos of this place, and you will walk in there and your jaw will drop, literally, okay? And I mean, the place is figuratively and literally lit. I mean, the stage is the size of this entire area, and it's one giant screen, and the floor and the sides and everything. It's crazy. And so in any case, so we're doing it in conjunction with Web3 CFL. So if you're into Web 3.0, crypto, blockchain, gaming, DER, anything else, then we are, it's free parking, we pay by the first drink, and so we're expecting, we already have about 200 RSVPs, and I'd like to get about 250. We're averaging 130 people per event. We're hoping to get close to 200 for this one. So scan it and RSVP, and then we'll see you there. Yes.
855 North US Highway, what?
It's 434.
Oh, no, it's 434, it's 7792 north of 434.
Okay.
It's gonna be a great time. So a lot of people that come there are startup founders, entrepreneurs, professional service providers, and incubators, et cetera, and investors. There's usually 10% of the people there are investors. So hope to see you there.
Cool, thank you. Next week, we still need speakers. They're to be determined. So if you are interested in speaking, let me know. We will get in touch with Josh. Rachel was texting me on Monday, hey, I want to speak on Wednesday. Is there still a slot? It's like, yes. Okay, I'll get it done. She got it done. She met with Josh yesterday, and then at 3:30, and then again at 4:19 this morning, sent me her slide deck. So it can be done. Just make sure you've got some Solai coffee to power you through the late nights. And we would love to get you on our slot next week. Download the chat. I don't know if there's a good chat, but if you're on Zoom and you want the chat, click the 3 dots at the bottom right corner and click Save Chat. Join us on meetup.com. That's where we announce all of our meeting information. And then make sure you connect with somebody that you met here today. This is where the relationships start. This is how we get to know one another. So New General Coffee Shop is just 2 blocks that way. You can go up there and have coffee. Stardust is just a couple miles that way. But meet somebody for coffee, meet somebody for lunch, and build some relationships. Don't forget your parking pass. It's this little card at the coffee station. And thank you very much. We will see you all next week.